Okay.
and see what happens, because maybe that's why it was echoing.
No idea.
Okay, so what I'll do, let's see here. Try it again.
Never happened.
I know this is
And
so
see what
weird.
happens, because maybe
Okay.
that's why it was
I'm
echoing.
hearing it.
I know that's me. Hold on.
No idea.
Okay. Hello, folks. We're going to try this again. We're rushing to get this.
Okay, Mom, I just got a thumbs up from my mom, so that sounds like we're okay. Oh my goodness gracious, this is craziness. I can't believe this. It,
Are we live just on Dancing Bear? Or are we live on Elk Rack too?
we should be live on all of them.
Okay.
I'm trying not to open Facebook. Actually, I can open it as long as I don't go to that video, I think. Let's see. Hold on a second. Sorry about this, guys. We're trying to make sure that we have a quality show, and with a little technical difficulties is kind of weird.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay, let's see. So I'll go on Elk Rack right now and just look and see. See, should there as well, hopefully.
Checking both. Where Carol Ann sign on says, "Let's try this again. Happy Friday." Yes, Carol Ann, definitely. Hello to our.
What do you mean? No, you're hearing feedback again? What the heck?
Are we getting feedback from audience? If you're watching, like Carol Ann, let us know if you're getting a feedback.
Because I don't have anything like I don't have it. I didn't open the video on either of them.
I'm not getting feedback on Elk Rack's page.
My mom said my mom popped in and she's like, yeah, no. Craziness.
Yeah, let me check Dancing Bear page. I'm not getting a feedback on Dancing Bear.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, if you guys hear feedback, can you message that you're hearing feedback? Because we're trying to keep the sound off. I'm hoping we're not hitting any kind of, trying to prevent that right now. My mom probably will pop in.
Let us know, folks, if you hear it. Hello, Maya. Maya's saying hello. Hello, Carol Ann. So let's go ahead and get this started right. Let me see if I can remember this correctly. Hello to the Friday Ninja Monster Hunter Squad. Wait. The Late Night Craft Talk Friday Ninja Monster Hunter Squad.
So you're not hearing it, Mom?
Yeah, so I rebooted.
Okay, so my mom says it's all good. She's not hearing anything. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a lot better. Holy moly. Okay. Let's see. This is crazy. We've just never had so many issues for this kind of thing. Okay. All right. Well, okay, everyone. I guess we're we're just gonna go with it. I hope that it's not gonna continue. That's weird.
Yeah, Caroline says no feedback, as you saw.
Okay.
Maya, let us know if you see anything. You are part of our support crew tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
We got a few people on. Some good stuff happening.
Okay. I'm gonna share this then to my.
Get sharing.
Yeah, I'm gonna share.
Not sharing, not sharing.
I know, right?
All right, folks. Just to kind of cover tonight, we have our special guest tonight is Suzanne Till from the Padre Dam Municipal Water District. She's going to be talking about ways to conserve water, a bit about where, especially if you live in Southern California, you'll be interested in this part, but where your drinking water comes from, and be talking about some insight into the ongoing drought that's happening in the Southwest. So tonight's show is going to be bona fide smart. This show's here for smart people, and if you watch the show tonight, you'll be smart too.
I know.
Right, Svea?
Yeah, and you know what's really cool is that this show is like we always bring on guests that we think might be interesting, like really interesting, and maybe it'll make you smarter. make you think about stuff. And, we do that every once in a while to make, shake it up. And there's a lot of interesting stuff to share. So that's why we thought this would be a really good show.
We haven't anybody this intelligent, this smart on the show since the last time we just interviewed Svea.
Oh, thank you, James. I appreciate
I'm
that.
just trying to throw you off.
Oh, what? Oh, that's so mean.
All right. Are we stable?
Not that mean to you.
What?
Okay, so Griffin Howe said Suzanne for president 2084. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Okay.
We got Vivian watching.
Yeah, and then so I'm watching the live chat from YouTube right now as well. So we're watching YouTube and Facebook, and it's pretty cool.
Heck yeah. All right. So I'm going to give Suzanne's full title: Suzanne Till, PhD, Director, Division 2, Padre Dam Municipal Water District. That's a long, impressive title.
Yes.
Matter of fact, is Division 2, is that anything like Section 19, or what did they call it in Transformers?
Area
Section
51?
32? Huh?
Area 51?
No, that's it. That's the top secret Air Force base outside of
I'm
Vegas.
just joking. Oh my goodness.
You need to brush up on your Transformers.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I should definitely yeah. Okay.
If you watch Transformers, I will probably watch a Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my God, you haven't watched that yet?
It's not Christmas time.
I have watched Transformers several times. I used to watch the show when I was a kid, and I did watch a couple of the movies.
Well, I'm talking about the first Michael Bay movie, not the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth, or ninth, or 10th, or anything like that. They got more ridiculous than Police Academy movies. Anyway, it's past 10 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, it is. Okay.
All right, we ready?
Let me hold on. I have one request for a YouTube link, so I'm gonna give Dave Uchansky, one of our friends. He wants to know what the link is for the video.
Pure awesomeness. We like Dave. I think Dave's been on the show more than anybody else.
Yeah. Actually,
he's got the most appearances on Late Night Crap Talk.
Christy's been on for a while, so actually maybe we need to do how Saturday Night Live has like the special lounge for like the 5+ers.
Yes.
We should have something like that for our show.
Who's going to supply the lounge? We're not exactly a centralized location to do the show.
Oh, we got okay. Yeah, okay. So we should start the show. People are like, are we supposed to be seeing things?
Okay, folks, we're bringing back for our show tonight. We're bringing back one of our classic sponsors tonight.
Yes. Okay, let's go. Okay.
All right, countdown time.
Do you want to start it?
10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
2,
2.9,
1. Let's go!
Or are you going down when I'm trying to go up? All right, you know what? Showtime.
Let's show.
Hello, I'm Mr. Showy Showman, and I'm here to tell you about the Quarantino's integrated multitasking masks. Are you getting tired of the limitations and downers of having to wear a bland mask during festive party occasions? Are you getting tired of the limited functionality of a mask that, and let's face it folks, just covers your face? Nothing else just covers your face to prevent you from getting the cooties? That just sounds like a waste to me. We need some imagination with our masks to keep the party festive and fun. That's when you should consider trying Quarantino's integrated multitasking masks. Consider that you are at a children's party. There's no way to blow any fun noisemakers. How dull! With a Quarantino's integrated mask, you can blow a blowout to your heart's delight. These also come in kazoos, slide whistles, and chatty teeth for bobbing for apples. On a fancy date, you can use your Quarantino's integrated mask with kissy lips for kissing the hand of your regal date and say, "Hello, my lady." If you find yourself trying to find your keys buried deep in your pocket and you need some place to keep all that extra stuff in your pocket but can't because you can't hold on to your wallet and pain in your mouth because of the mask, then try Quarantino's integrated mask with a basket. Now you can pile all that junk from your pockets into the basket on your face while looking for your car keys deep in your pocket. Quarantino's integrated face masks come in a variety of configurations including basketball hoop, wavy hand, robot claw grabbers, sun visor, water bucket, cactus planter, and so much more. Don't be a dullard. Use Quarantino's integrated multitasking face masks and become the ultra-efficient life of the party. I'm Mr. Showy Showman, and I endorse the Quarantino's integrated multitasking face masks.
It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Svea Yang and James Hermes. On this week's show, Suzanne Till from the Padre Dam Municipal Water District. You know, the other day I opened my water bill and my electricity bill at the same time. I was shocked. It's time to start the show.
Hi, James. Hey, I think you might be muted.
No, I'm not. Nope.
Hey, I caught you, because you know.
No, I was imitating a mime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be
Are you
multi-talented.
imitating Mr. Showy Showman?
I'm not Mr. Showy Showman.
Oh, okay, I just.
We do. I'm wondering what happened to Earl.
I don't know. Maybe Earl doesn't work for them anymore because that HR robot fired everyone.
HRAI.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know what? You just gave me a bad idea for a cold open. Earl versus HRAI, Mr. Grizzly, Mr. Francis.
Oh no.
Fuzzy Paws.
No. You guys, seriously, it's for those of you. Okay, so for those of you, we have some people that haven't watched our show before. For those of you who don't know, we have a whole bunch of different shows that we had all these crazy little characters we put in, and we've done some fun things with them, and a few of those things that we mentioned are in previous episodes. So feel free to watch them. We have most of them up. I'm still working on putting all the data into the other videos that we have, but we have a lot of videos. We have, right now, they're not all on there, but we have over 52 episodes of the show. And for those of you who don't know about our show, we actually do the show every week at 10 p.m. on Friday. And most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, it's live. And we do this show to promote our individual businesses, Dancing Bear New Trader and Elk Rack Traders. And we also use this show to promote local artists, small businesses. We bring up interesting topics like we have tonight.
And subliminally, to control your mind to take over the world. Okay. On with that piece of information, you decide what's true and what isn't.
Okay.
You know what is true.
Yes, this is true. Hey, James.
Right. What's going on with Jan?
I was going to ask you, what's going on with your
can I ask you
Elk
first?
Rack?
Can I ask you first?
Oh, sure, I guess. Yeah, sure.
I want to cue up a couple slides while you're going over. So what's happening at Dancing Bear?
Okay, so this week, well, last week we announced that we're having our bead retreat this year, so we're really excited about that. Registration is open, and if you guys want to come to the show, to the bead retreat, there's a few options, but make sure if you're going to bring an RV, you got to register early because there's limited RV spaces. Otherwise, it's tent camping. And we have a class that's coming up in June. We're doing pre-registration for it. And there's this weird guy that we have that's going to come and teach it, you know, and he's
Mr. Showy Showman?
He's this drum maker guy.
Mr. Showy Showman.
Yeah, he's going to be teaching at our store how to make an elk rawhide drum from scratch.
So folks, if you want to see, and the day is June 14, 15, 16, what day?
13th.
13th. June 13th. It's a Sunday. Should be a Sunday.
Saturday.
Calendar in front of me. Saturday. It's a Saturday. Come to Dance Bear Indian Trader. You will get to learn how to make your own 15-inch elk rawhide hand drum.
Rawhide elk drum.
And guests will be teaching it. And Svea will be there. So you get to see both of us in the same place.
And like,
might even cut a segment from
like
the
make
next
fun of him all the time.
What's that? We'll probably cut a segment for the show, but you can see both of us in the same place. Come have some fun, make a drum, and Svea will buy you a puppy.
I think James, it's so funny because James forgets, like he keeps saying Svea buys everyone a puppy, but he means that He buys everyone a puppy.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the show notes right here, and I saw where you just quickly changed it.
Oh
No,
yeah,
it does
I
not
must.
work like that, Savannah. We're gonna have to bring
Sure.
this up in the next we're gonna have to bring this up with HR.
Okay, all right.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
What's going on with Elk Rack?
a lot of wholesale. I've been wanting to get stuff up, get some things up, but spring is a busy time, and I one person making stuff, but I find it actually encouraging because what happened to
Oh,
your
that was weird. It's oh my gosh, my finger. I don't know how I touched that. Okay,
you're
good.
gonna blame your finger?
My finger touched my keyboard and
My
it
finger, turn off
it
the
was on top of the
camera.
mouse, and so then it stopped video.
The
So
camera, it's not like the red rub finger. Okay, that's just shining. All right, so one person doing this, and what I find it is actually encouraging is because the whole regular wholesale is coming back in spring for people getting ready for summer shows, and that means there's light we can definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel of this. It's a good feeling. It makes me really being busy. But anyway, one of the other things I want to mention is one of the things Elk Crag does is do a volunteer the time and promote it through the business. Some of the volunteerism I do. And last week I was actually running a couple of last Saturday I was running a couple of service projects at Living Desert Botanical Zoo and Gardens in Palm Desert. It's very well known. And so I've got one group that's working what's called the plant propagation area. I'm working with another group that's digging out a area called the Huck area, and that's where they're digging a pond in this holding area to raise western pond turtles that are not endangered but getting there. And so I'm walking between, it's like third of a mile walk between the two areas, and I'm walking and I'm in this back area. I'm over past the boneyard, what's called the boneyard of the of Living Desert, and I look over and I went, there's a giraffe. It's in the back area, and I'm looking at this full grown 16 or 17 foot tall giraffe. And I'm looking, I'm just looking at him, and he's looking at me. And we actually kind of had a stare down.
Wow.
We had matter of fact, one of the kids I'm working with was there, and he shot video of it. You want to see it?
Yeah, show us.
All right, let me show everybody. You're going to see the stare down with a giraffe. It was crazy. The giraffe just looking at me, and I'm looking at the giraffe, and I was like,
Do you guys want to bet on who? Wait, before we start it, who do you think's gonna win the stare down, guys?
I'm not gonna give it away, but
put in the comments, guys, who you think won.
Leave in the comments.
James or the giraffe? James
All right.
or the giraffe?
Let's take a look. Who won the stare down contest? And mind, folks, this is real for the mostly. Well, needless to say, I won. Though I'm looking at the comments, and there's just only a couple of people that said giraffe. Svea, your camera.
Oh, sorry. I was like watching. I was looking at all the comments. I was laughing.
Oh yeah, there's only a couple of comments that say giraffe. I only count +1.
Okay, well, I was going. Let me go here. Let me see the comments.
Oh, you don't have to read it out. It's just we don't need to go concentrate on that part.
Yeah, because definitely people were like giraffe, and then some people were like James.
Well, that's why I said it's well, thank you, Maya, when you said good job, James. But like I said, the comments are minor. It's just +1. All right. But I'm thinking we've got nature right there, and they're conserving. They've got some endangered species in Living Desert.
That's pretty cool, actually, that they have those animals.
I didn't get pictures, but I was also looking at like a cheetah and some kangaroos and some wallabies. Pretty awesome.
Cheetah, one time my sister, my mom, and I went to the wild animal park. That's what I call it. I don't call it the safari park. Okay. So the wild animal park, and we went there. My sister I think she was like 6.
Yes.
I was 10, and she was walking over by the cheetah enclosure, and the cheetah was like pacing her and like going, okay, she looks like a tasty morsel.
Did she look? Was she shaped and smelled of hamburgers?
Probably, but she was like, my mom and I are like, if that cheetah was loose, my sister would be her dinner.
Yes. Cheetahs and Wildlife is brought to you by Pepsi.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay. Get the thing up, because we don't do blatant sponsorship. All right.
It may not appear in my.
No, because it's being covered up by the purple haze.
I know, because
Anyway.
I love purple glitter. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
So we look at nature's resources right there.
Yes.
And this is something that, we've gone from, as a species, from battling being one with nature to having to be stewards of it and try to conserve our resources. I one of the things we're talking about is conservation of natural resources, specifically water,
Mm-hmm.
the center tonight. And I think Savannah and I wanted to kind of share a couple things that we personally do to conserve our natural resources.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and say that, like, say on a hot day, I want to enjoy nature, so I want to hear the birds sing. So I open up our sliding glass door and several windows to our house
Mm-hmm.
on the southern side of the house that faces the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and I run the air conditioner at 65 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
How are we conserving energy like that? Because we could set the AC to 55.
Oh.
But we're keeping it 65, but we're trying to keep nature too.
Okay.
So that's one thing is we do is we don't set it for really cold, just ridiculously.
Yeah, because you just want to make sure that you're going to give some of nature the coldness so that it could actually feel a little more well-rounded.
Yes, we want to spread some of that. We want to spread some of that love to the nature. So what do you do to conserve energy?
Well, there's several things I do, but there's just too many things to talk about here in the show. I could say that one of the things that I do is I make sure to turn all my lights on. Every time I'm in the house, I turn every single light on. Even if I'm not in the room, I turn every single light on, and I turn all the lights on so that I can see. It feels like I'm in the sun.
There you go. You're conserving daylight. That's why it's called daylight savings
It's
time.
like I like keep the sun inside, so then I feel like then it's like the sun is actually inside our house.
And the plants grow, make more oxygen.
Yes, exactly. I have lots of plants. Like I have my celery that I cut and I just put it in water and I'm letting it grow. Like it's like growing like crazy from that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We keep our one thing we like to do is to conserve energy is that we'll keep the. Did I just belch? Whoopsie doodles. I just talk belched.
Excuse you, James.
Excuse me. Because I was drinking the Pepsi and I started talking, all of a sudden I think I heard a talk belch. Anyway, so we leave our oven running during the summer so as to conserve having to warm up the oven and use that extra energy to keep the warm up the oven. We keep the oven warm anyway.
That's really.
And the oven is by the sliding glass door that we keep with open during the summer with the AC turned to 65. What we also do is I let the water run in the gutter to clean the gutter, so that when there's a rainstorm, the water runs more efficiently and doesn't get built up, create sand, extra dirt, retain it, and they make houses messy. Hence, people will vacuum their houses less and conserve electricity that way.
Oh,
audience, let us know how legit our ideas are, and then we're actually educating you on this, and you're getting good ideas.
Yeah, and there's lots of ways, for like laundry. Like I've actually heard that if you just put it out inside, if you just put all your laundry outside, like just put it in a laundry bin and put it on your, in your backyard, just put it in the sun.
Well,
it cleans it 100%. You don't have to wash it.
I do a ratio when I wash my clothes. I wash them 3 times in a row on heavy soil, and I'll just wear them longer. Instead of a day, I'll wear them like 2 days, then wash them 3 times and wear them 2 days. With that, we want to bring on. Yeah, I think it's about time to bring on Suzanne now.
Yes, I know.
So with this, we want to hear Suzanne's take on our conservation ideas. We'd like to hear yours also. So with that, let me go ahead and get a little screen up right here, do a little share, and let's introduce this week's guest. This should be lots of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, On tonight's show, Suzanne Till from the Padre Dam Municipal Water District.
Yay!
Hurrah! Hello, Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hey, I really love your conservation ideas. Here's one that my son loves to do. He likes to sit in the room with the door closed, with in the heat of the day, with every electronic on. So then he doesn't have to turn them on and off. And then he opens the window and then he turns the AC on.
Oh, that's really good.
He is just amazing.
Yeah. So I'm sure that when we're giving our conservation advice, you're probably going, they get it. They're the most advanced. And you're probably going, bull.
What?
Anyway,
Yeah.
Suzanne, so PhD, Division II Municipal Water District Director. Okay, what is Division II and what is your PhD's in?
So let us know what this is about.
We know it's
tell
not
us your-
Transformers.
So there, I already heard Griffin is on there. He was actually, Griffin goes to West Hills High School and he worked my campaign. He was my sign manager. Brilliant.
Shout out to Griffin.
Shout out to Griffin, right? No, Griff. So basically, in Santee, we pay a lot for our water. I think we're like second highest in the county, maybe possibly in the state. Yeah, we pay a lot for our water. There's many reasons why, and I can explain why. And I've studied and worked in the field a little, and my students, I also teach college classes at Modern Day Catholic High School. Shout out to them. Hola. And they were bugging me all last year because I'm always talking about climate change and drought. And I finally decided I need to do something. So it was myself and two of my best friends, 3 working moms, and we ran a campaign last summer and we won. And Division II, the way it works now with either special districts or even city councils, it used to be what we call at-large elections. That means, like for Padre Dam, there's 5 board seats and everybody would run for the entire water district, and it's huge. And the top 5 seats would be voted in, but then that doesn't give you what we call spatial equity. In other words, maybe all 5 of those people come from El Cajon, but nobody comes from Santee. So the state of California has asked that, just like congressional districts, we all have divisions or districts. And there's going to be a lot of line drawing going on after the census, not only for congressional districts, but state assembly, state senate, and then our races, our particular areas too. So there you go.
Okay.
Cool.
I think there's a few pictures we want to share just so people can kind of get an idea of just how broad your job is and what a little bit about, we can talk about what you know, but let's show some of the places that your job has taken you to. And it's kind of a good segue into water conservation,
Sure.
where the drinking water comes from. So let me get this slide up right quick. That's going to be the one we talked about with you in front of a couple of dams. But give me a second here. Because I got to isolate the slide, then I got to go over here to Zoom, and I got to hit share screen, and here we go. Okay, hold on. I wasn't supposed to hit leave meeting. Oh, that almost happened.
Oh, yes.
So we have you here in front of, obviously the picture on the left is Parker Dam.
Yep. That's where we get our water for Southern California. That's the dam or reservoir we do our intake. And should I continue to explain the rest of them?
Heck yeah.
Sure. Okay. The one on the left is Parker Dam. The one on the right are the pipes. There's actually, by the way, this is for the Colorado River Aqueduct. This brings us water from the Colorado River. 70% of our water comes from the Colorado River. And this was all built in the 1930s. A group of Southern California elected officials went into Congress and said, we need this and we need jobs. This was a big infrastructure project. So at the pump station at Padre Dam, at Parker Dam, they actually have the original diesel engines from the 30s still running. It's just amazing. And then these things pump that water up, and where I have my hand on it, you can feel all this water going through. It's just like unbelievable. And then the middle one is really interesting. The engineers in planning the aqueduct, they encountered this large canyon, and there's a lot of fault earthquake activity there. And they thought, oh, if we put a pipe there, it's going to be trouble. So what they did was they designed it so when the water comes in, using gravity, it flows from east to west towards Southern California. So there you go.
No kidding.
And nobody can go to this reservoir. You have to get like super duper secret clearance, destroy the world. Dr. Evil would not be welcome there.
Oh yeah, that would be bad, right?
Understood.
Right. Too much magma.
Magma. And that's the only other place where there's water sucked out of the Colorado River on there for the California side. There's still Palo Verde Diversion Dam there north of Blythe, and there's still the I believe it's the All American Canal that hauls water out of the Colorado River a little bit above Yuma from Imperial Dam.
Right.
And that's one over there by Palo Verde, of course, farms around Palo Verde Valley for all the farms there and around Blythe. It goes down quite a ways. And then All American Canal out of Yuma feeds the canal system all the way up to the Coachella Valley where I live.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
That's a lot of water.
California, right. California gets, we were at 4.4 million acre feet. It's been reduced down, but the biggest chunk is your water district, James, Imperial Irrigation District, 3 million acre feet. And if you just want to let you know what's a acre foot, okay, go to a football field. Imagine if it's flooded up to 1 foot, and that's enough water for a family of 4, depending on how much they use, for approximately a year of water.
Wow.
That's a lot. Let's not forget that also the Central Arizona Project.
Yes.
Which is the canal that feeds drinking water from basically Lake Havasu, pumps it up and goes all the way to Phoenix and then ends finally down at Tucson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a lot. And now we're still talking about, and then there's still Vegas.
Yes.
From Lake Mead. So that is that's a lot of water being sucked out. That's
and we're not talking about Colorado and their rights to water, Utah. So,
Wyoming.
Yeah.
When we start talking about the green on there, that's the longest tributary.
Wow.
So with that, that's basically, we want to talk about, do we want to go ahead and talk about people where your drinking water comes from for a lot of these folks? Or
you guys, just so you
California?
guys know, James probably has kayaked in your water.
In your drinking water.
I've kayaked in your drinking water.
I had to say it. It's like the elephant in the room. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let's continue.
Or the giraffe.
Yeah, the giraffe. Yes.
The giraffe in the room.
Do you know near the aqueduct, there's burros out there, and burros are not native, but these are the burros that they use to haul equipment and supplies into building the aqueduct back in the 30s, and they're still running around there. Yeah.
Wow.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Let me go ahead and bring up a picture right quick to show one of the canals that comes from the Colorado River. And let me go ahead and do a quick share on that so people can see a little bit of this. Matter of fact, if you ever drive out Interstate 8 between the Imperial Valley and Yuma, that is that huge water going through there is the All American Canal. When you go through Glamis, all the sand.
This is
so
off
here
10.
Is one of the canals.
Yeah, this one's off 10. This is still the Colorado River Aqueduct, and we're moving from east to west. What's so unbelievable about this is all gravity flow. They graded it at a perfect slope to allow that water to flow. No greenhouse gas emissions. Wow, it's just brilliant. It is amazing. Yeah. Now, if you see the mountains in the distance, so do you guys want to figure out how are we going to get water from the desert to Southern California? What are we going to do with those mountains? And we don't want to use power.
Under.
Yeah.
Go through?
Big old tunnels. Mm-hmm. Yep.
No.
Are those the Chocolate Mountains in the distance? Or no, those aren't the Chocolate Mountains. That's too far north. This picture was probably taken too far north for Chocolate Mountains.
So this was this particular project has been considered one of the engineering wonders of the world for that time.
Wow. Yeah, from like the 30s. Like they didn't have computers. They didn't have computers like we have computers now. They didn't
have air conditioning.
They didn't have all this stuff that we have now.
It was a pretty incredible time where we're talking about the time of building Hoover Dam, Empire State Building,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and let's not forget some of those other engineering marvels that came decades earlier, like the Eiffel Tower,
Oh,
Capitol
yeah.
Building, and some other stuff. You know, it's been described by like some people. I hate to say it, and I'll probably get in trouble for saying it, it's back when men were men a bit. Considering the time we're in, don't anything about it, but it was a different breed. And the engineering was pretty amazing. I mean, just the dead reckoning on it. But with that comes the consequences. Colorado River. What was it like? I mean, how would you describe the Colorado River in the West, but pre-dam?
Well, Aldo Leopold visited the Colorado River Delta before the water was diverted,
Mhm.
and he described it as a land of lush green jungles and lagoons. We had jaguars there.
Wow.
Yeah, we had jaguars.
It was a huge river. I mean, what we look at now is what it used to be. Like, if I remember correctly in our conversations, the high water that used to happen June through August or June, July,
Yeah,
was
but
the
the
snow that would come
snow melt.
down the Colorado River
Yeah.
and come down here. There were times where even in the early 1900s, Yuma would get flooded pre-dam, and it would get flooded, and the river at times was 10 miles wide.
Right, and that weather can do tremendous amount of flooding. I mean, Salton Sea was known as Lake Kauquia, excuse my
Kauquia.
language, and it would overflow and flood into there. And that's what rivers do. They'll overflow and go someplace else, and then they'll go back again. But there were even the world's smallest porpoise would go swim around in the wetlands there. I mean, it was just the wildlife. It was the largest desert wetlands in the Americas.
Wow.
And it was a major place for birds. They said the sky would be black with birds there. So yeah, we did lose this incredible ecosystem. And then there were also fish in the Gulf of California, discharges in Mexico. There's a species of fish called a totoaba, and wetlands are really wonderful places for juvenile fish to grow up. They can hide, there's lots of food. And the totoaba, it was on its way to going extinct. And so what the state of Baja California Norte, what they did is Universidad Autónoma de Baja California in Ensenada, they had these aquaculture centers, and they raised totoaba, juvenile, then they truck them across, and then they release them into the Gulf of California. And these fish get up to, I think, close to 60 or 70 pounds. They're pretty big.
It's a big
Wow.
fish.
Yeah.
So we could probably define the Colorado River was it was no Mississippi River, but for a Western river, it was huge.
Yeah, a lot of people compared, you told me earlier, to the Nile.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nile's pretty darn big. And then, what it's been, the way it's been overtaxed, diversions start happening on the Colorado. I mean, even the main tributaries, like say the main tributary that's is the Green River that starts up in, central Wyoming and goes down, it drains a huge area.
Mm-hmm.
A huge area everywhere from western New Mexico all the way down to Coachella Valley.
Yeah.
And all the way up into western half of Colorado, pretty much almost all of Utah, all the way up to central Idaho, central Wyoming. It was a huge river on those times, and the Delta, as you said, was one of the most biological diverse areas in the Western Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
The Delta is surrounded by desert, and it was a huge river. But the fact, look how many people, was it 22 million people that it provides water for, or is that bigger number?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up, but it is in the millions. It's always growing bigger. But yeah, it's quite a few. It supports the big Western cities: Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas.
Vegas, yeah, and
Tijuana.
They get their drinking water from the Colorado River.
Yep.
Mexico. A lot of the farms all through there. You can even go, those areas, even if we look at some of the reservoirs, those of you from Southern California, Lake Matthews is, I think, the last reservoir system of Colorado. It's primarily Colorado River.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge reservoir out by Riverside. Mm-hmm. And we're still talking like you did in San Diego County, where several of our viewers are, Lake Hodges, Lake Matthews.
El Capitan Reservoir.
El Cap, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All Colorado River water.
Mm-hmm. There's Skinner Lake, the new one. It's called Skinner Reservoir.
Oh, yes.
The new one, that thing's massive.
All that is coming from one river,
Hmm.
which brings us to, I think, which slide do we probably want to look at here? Now that we've talked about just the scope of the scope and the power of the Colorado River pre-dam. I think one analogy, if I may, if I'm not going to stick out, but to show the power of the Colorado River, we're talking about the river that carved the Grand Canyon, which is just amazing right there, is that the Gulf of California used to come all the way up to India, well into the Coachella Valley, but all that silt from the Rockies, from northern Arizona, all that silt, I think pre-dam, the Colorado River is called the Red River by several native languages because it was a warm, shallow, silty river. And all that silt coming down cut off the Sea of Cortez and moved it down to its present location. All that silt basically just piled up and pushed the sea back. If that ain't power, if that isn't just amazing right there. And that's one river. And that's why we've got the Salton Sink Hitch, Salton City or Salton Sea, 200 plus feet below sea level. And then you've got, a lot of the area that the fertile farmland around like northern Mexico, between Mexicali and the Sea of Cortez. That's all silt. That's all from the Grand Canyon and the Rockies, largely.
That is the role of, we call them exotic rivers. They transport a lot of sediment and silt. And for those of you with your drinking water, actually, Colorado River water has a lot of what we call high TDS, total dissolved solids. So for certain plants like avocados, they can't tolerate it. It's too much, too high levels, and they're called salts, but it's many different minerals. So that's the bummer of the Colorado River. It does have a high TDS load. And for certain farmers, they don't like, our avocado growers don't like it. They don't want it.
Gotcha. So we've talked about some about the Colorado River. I think, should I go ahead and bring up we start talking about how it's being overtaxed a little bit. So we talk about that, we get into conservation. Do you want me to bring up the slide of Lake Mead?
Sure.
Okay, let me get that up right quick. So what the figure here with the Colorado River is that it's one of the most overtaxed rivers in the world, correct?
It is the most litigated river in the world too.
The most litigated, true. Okay. And with that, the water that's being taken out, we actually use more water than actually flows annually through the Colorado River, correct?
Yes. Okay.
And to show an example of just the long-term effects of pulling more water than it actually produces, because time's grown, the reservoirs were up, reservoirs are going down. The two main ones, Powell and Mead. This is Lake Mead today.
Right. So the previous depth of Lake Mead, so all that white are salt deposits from the water, and the previous elevation, if you want to call it, or depth, is right at the top of that white, and it's gone down by that much. And they're predicting this year, they're not sure if they can run hydroelectric power out of Hoover Dam. There may not be enough water.
Wow. That's craziness.
It'll be the first time ever. And we've only, the wet winter of 2019 only bought us a couple of years, bought us a little stopgap.
Yeah.
And that's what is it, 126, 130 feet that tall, that what's called the bathtub ring?
Yeah, they call it the bathtub ring.
Wow, it's 130 feet.
We'd have to Google and see. I think it's worse this year.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised. I remember paddling across Lake Mead in my kayak a couple of years ago, and I'm looking over, the bathtub ring is just towering above you. And I look over on this hill and I went, and it's way up on this mountain. I went, that's a boat. Somebody abandoned their boat. How the hell did I get up there? I went, oh yeah, the lake used to be up that high. So pretty interesting.
Wow.
All right, with that, I think when we start talking, do we want to go ahead and would you like me to, which slide do you want me to bring up, drought or statistics or anything?
Well, yeah, you can show the flow if you like, the reduced flow. And this just came in December 2020 from the Colorado River Users Association. It's pretty much accepted we are in one of the worst 20-year droughts ever. So if you look in 1999 and you has volume a million acre feet, so it's 95% of the mean. And now we are down to, in 2021, we're down at 36%. And
Wow.
then that blue line is the let's see, a percentage of inflow to Lake Powell. That's north of Lake Mead, up in the Arizona, Utah region up there, but it's just going down.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a proposal by the San Diego County Water Authority to build another aqueduct to the Colorado River. You know, and the reason why they want to do it is right now we get our aqueduct through, it's owned by Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, primarily serving LA. And San Diego kind of wants to do their own thing, take our water allocation, put it in our aqueduct. But my question is, will there be water? You know, a basic question. I mean, it's just going down and down and down, and we're talking $5 billion. So there are people there's like, yep, we should do it. Great infrastructure project, provide jobs. And then there are some water agencies that are like, I don't think this is a good idea. So
it makes me appreciate John Wesley Powell when he actually stated that you should not be building cities out here.
yes.
And for John Wesley Powell, if anybody doesn't know, in 1869, he's the one that's first documented European to go down the length of the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. He started up in Wyoming and went down the Green River all the way to Colorado and through the Grand Canyon, all the rapids in 1869. In wood boats were designed, flat bottom boats were designed for the Mississippi River.
Right.
And finally ended his expedition at the confluence of the Virgin River and Colorado River in what's currently a bit south of Overton, Nevada. And he stated, I think that, you know, it's too damn dry out here. You just cannot support a major population. And he started, you know, repeating that to the point that he was ostracized by the powers that be. Because he was in charge of Bureau of Reclamation for the Southwest, wasn't he? If I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
In the 1890s. And they just blew him off because they kept on developing. He's like, the environment cannot support it. Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, what was it, Leopold? What was his name?
Aldo Leopold.
Aldo Leopold. Is this a good time? And you mentioned the deltas. This is a good time to go ahead and bring up the delta. Yeah. One of what's probably the most overlooked. And for those of you that don't know, Colorado River does not reach the Sea of Cortez anymore, or the Gulf of California. And pardon me, I'm just getting up a slide here right quick. It no longer reaches the Gulf of California. It hasn't in over 30 or 40 years consistently.
Since Lake Powell was filled up.
Yeah.
It's longer than that, I think, more like 50. Probably,
yeah. Before I would. And so the Delta region that we mentioned, which is the most unseen, probably, if I'm correct about this, is probably the most unseen, unrecognized, and misunderstood environmental disaster of the entire Colorado River being overused. Am I correct?
In the United States, that is not the case for Mexico.
Okay.
Everybody knows about it in Mexico, and they're not happy. Let's just say
as a general region, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Mexico had it declared an international biosphere preserve, but most people don't know about this disaster in the United States.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
So basically in the upper area, you see where those patchwork of green fields, that's all agriculture, I believe, in the Mexicali region. Is that right? You know this area really well too.
Yeah.
And then this whole area of dry sand, that used to be all wetlands and trees and jaguars and pronghorn and totoaba, and that's gone. And there is that the Laguna Salada up there? I don't know.
Laguna Salada right here.
Okay, that's the Laguna Salada. So what about the green area and the blue area to the east? Nope, go down.
Right here?
Yeah, what's that?
That's another part where the Sea Cortez comes in. That's actually probably high tide, honestly.
Oh, probably, yeah. You want to talk about the tides, how crazy they are?
Yeah, the Gulf of California, the way it's spread out, has had the largest tidal surges in the world. If you ever look at see videos or YouTube clips, whatever, of like say big rivers with big mouths, and the ocean waves just go, the high tide affects the river and actually sends waves up the river. A good example would be waves going up the mouth of the Amazon. The biggest tidal surge in the world was up into the Colorado River Delta. And because you've got your Gulf of California, I've been warned about calling it the Sea of Cortez for political reasons, but the Gulf of California, it just gets up and shallower and shallower all the way up to where you see right there in the lower right-hand corner. And all that water pushing up created huge tidal surges up that area. And it still happens, not like it used to, because there's not water, it's not a consistent flow of water that's coming out because the river doesn't flow there anymore. Any water you see coming down is irrigation runoff from the farms in the Mexicali Valley. But the biggest tidal surges in the world, when I was down there in that area, November 2019, I was down there at a diurnal tide. So extra low water, extra high water. And I'm down there low water, and I had to run in ankle deep mud, sometimes calf deep, to get away from the high tide rising. It came up so freaking quick.
Wow.
I think this whole area where you see desert all this was Delta.
Yeah.
All the way up into Yuma, correct?
There are people like James who say, okay, I'm going to kayak down. I'm going to go do the entire Colorado River. But as you get towards the end, there's no river. There's not enough water. So you have to walk.
It's dry.
So,
It's past Morelos Dam.
You have to walk with your kayak to get to the end.
What can we do to help with our water situation? So water conservation is important. So what can we do to do water conservation? Like how can we try to slow it down or reverse, etc.? Like in a way that everyday people can do, because it's difficult to do like in the political aspect. There's a lot of like political things. Like how can we how can we work together to try to save water?
And not take any of the advice that Svea are offering before you brought you in for your interview.
But sure, you guys, just so you know, we're just being silly, okay?
We're being contrary.
We're very silly people.
Well, for those of you who own homes, the number one water use is outdoor irrigation. And there are many ways to plant and have beautiful planting, and then you'll get the wildlife and the pollinators and the birds and the butterflies. So that is one way. And actually there are programs where your water district will pay you money to take out your lawn, because that is a huge water user. Even growing food is less. You can do that. Another thing that I like to do, I have beautiful grapes, and they're from Egypt actually, and I just water them with my dishwater. When I hand wash my dishes or my bath water, take it out there and dump it in there. They're doing great. So, there's that. Actually, Southern Californians are doing pretty good. Water use the population has been going up over the last 30 years, and water use keeps going down. So we have been doing pretty good. The other one you can do, and you can get rebates on, is do rainwater harvesting. And that is the highest, best quality of water you can get for your plants. I have, the state will give you money for that. So low flow toilets, which a lot of us have, washing, low flow washing machines. A lot of the technology is already in there. Mm-hmm. And then you can also get paid money to do water reclamation. And so that's where you get your shower water, your dishwater water. If you want a lawn, the best thing is take your get a hose out from your washing machine and let it water your grass. Grass loves that stuff.
I'll admit that, and this is probably the case with a lot of people, water heaters don't kick on real quick sometimes in some houses. And so you waste a lot of water just letting your shower get warm. Correct?
Yeah.
I know that, my neighbor actually turned this on to me a few years ago, is that he just collects the water in a bucket, because sometimes it can be a few gallons of water you're wasted before you start to get warm. I mean, talk about first world problems here. And he'll take that and he'll use it to water the plants in his house and his yard.
Yeah, you can do that. Tankless water heaters heat up really fast.
Okay.
So that's another idea, is to get a tankless water heater. Mm-hmm. I have one. they keep saying it's going to break. It's been here for 20 years. They're like, oh, it's going to, the plumber keeps saying, when's it going to break? It hasn't broke yet. But they heat up really, really fast. And go to a car wash. That's another thing. They reuse that water to do that. So yeah, I mean, we are doing a relatively good job. I know that I'm going to be working with the County of San Diego. We want to revegetate San Diego County with native plants, and we're also going to be working with
cool.
the tribes of the Kumeyaay Nation too, because they know they've been doing this for thousands of years, and that's something we would like to see more too. So, you know, in cities where they have those grass berms there, we don't need that. We're not England.
Yeah. I think that's really cool.
We're way too dry.
And that's my money. That's my money. That's my money that's paying for that water there. I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I don't know if you want to show some pictures. It's not just cactus.
I was about to ask if you'd like me to go and bring up that picture of the natural landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go get it up right quick. You can tell us what we're looking at.
So on the left-hand side, Grossmont College just went native. And so this is right smack in the middle of Grossmont College that they have their native plants, and it's just stunning there. And then the middle is my backyard. So I have a Arizona mesquite tree. Everybody's like, who waters your tree? I'm like, no one. And I have a Santa Catalina or giant buckwheat that's going to be blooming, a Cleveland sage. We have a native lilacs here that are just gorgeous in the wintertime. Beautiful. You know, Svea, you love that color purple. Plant some lilacs because they're all that color.
I will definitely do that. I'm all about purple, so
yeah, they're just gorgeous in February. And then a lot of people don't realize on the right, these are our native coast live oak trees. This one is hundreds of years old, and it's at Mission Trails Regional Park. They are fire resistant. They and Native Americans have been taking care of them again for thousands of years. They were planted. They also did something called fire stick agriculture to promote oak growth. And we weren't the best. In the 70s and 80s, the county said, oh, go out and chop down oak trees. So we lost a lot. But that's another thing. You can just put an oak in. Now, the only thing that people don't like, they are a little slow growing. But, you know, that's what's so great about these plants. They don't use water. They're great for the environment. They attract butterflies. They attract hummingbirds. They attract birds. And, you know, some species, you have to cut them back, you know, when things start drying out. But most species are fire resistant, which is really cool too.
That's really cool. That's good to know. And, you know, I know that my mom, years ago when she had moved to a different house, she did a whole native garden. And it was all native plants, and it was really cool because they're all drought tolerant plants. They don't need lots of water to exist. So
yeah, the only thing that people do a lot of times is they don't understand when it's really warm, you don't water those plants. Like the California lilacs are really funky and they're not adapted. What happens is if you water them in the summertime, you get a bacterial explosion and the plants die. So my general rule of thumb with native plants is, you know how you have your night and morning low clouds? If it's that kind of day, you can water. But if it's like no clouds, it's going to be hot, leave them alone. You can sprinkle them with water. You know, that's fine. But don't give them a deep drink or don't do any of that. So that's where people kill them.
Well, that's not good.
There's plenty out there.
You know, it's funny. I have my plants that I have plumerias, and those are great.
Those are awesome drought tolerant plants.
And I seriously, last year, I seriously neglected them like crazy because usually I give them water like once every 1 or 2 weeks. I didn't water them for weeks at a time, and they still survived. And yeah, so I mean, so succulents are great. I mean, I don't know, they're not native plants, but I love succulents.
Oh, we have quite a few succulents that are native plants too.
Oh,
we
really?
do. Yeah. Yeah, we do. The most famous one in San Diego County is a species called Dudleya, and it's kind of like this beautiful green and chalky succulent, and then comes out of it this like coral colored stalk with beautiful flowers. So yeah, we've got some gorgeous succulents too. I mean, obviously we don't have like the ocotillos, you know, and the saguaros, and sometimes people will plant the cactus. You do. And so sometimes
Except the
people,
saguaros.
right?
James is in Indio, so he has a lot
Right.
more
He's got it.
desert stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All desert stuff.
Which and some of it will survive, but like I had heard like with ocotillos, if you try and bring them out here, sometimes they don't make it. Yeah, you would know.
There's not been a good track record for the
No, it's been
discussion before.
not a very good. They're gorgeous plants.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dependable shade in the middle of summer in the middle of the desert.
So I can also talk about what some of the agencies are trying to do to produce more water, because again, we're seeing drought not only in the Colorado River Basin, but in Northern California. It's very severe. That's where we get some of our water, but it's been decreasing from the Cascade and Sierra Nevada mountains. So what we're seeing a lot now is water repurification, which I know is called toilet to tap. But it is very low producing of greenhouse gas emissions. It's lower energy, and it does get stored and recycled through. You know, they're very careful about it. But Oceanside is doing that. Padre Municipal Water District is doing that. City of San Diego is moving forward on that. And then it's also water that we locally control, which is really important. Carlsbad has chosen to do desalination. That is higher in energy use. It is more expensive, but it is very reliable. So people really, you know, like that. So, and then again, I think the water districts, and that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to promote when I got elected. Just like with energy, you can produce your own solar energy, right? Or you can put a wind turbine up. Well, fine, produce your own water. You know, you do gray water recycling at home, do rainwater harvesting, go for it.
Almost in a way, microclimate your house.
Yeah.
Home.
You can microgrid.
I want to put it out there really quick, everyone. So if anyone's watching the show and anyone has questions, we're getting to be towards the end of our show. So we like to put in some, viewer questions. So if you guys have any questions, I'm watching 2 of the social media streams, and I know James is watching his stream.
I'm watching. We're over watching the Dancing Bear stream in the Elk Rack. So yeah, I'm watching a couple pages.
So if you guys have any questions, while you have an expert on,
Real deal. She's legit.
Yes,
She's bona fide. She's a PhD. I got to do the Okie.
She's bona fide.
Bona fide PhD.
Are you bona fide?
You know, you guys.
I don't mean that in the oldest of senses.
Have you guys seen the movie? Shoot, it's the movie.
Oh, Brother, We're Out There.
Yes.
Oh, Brother, We're Out There. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Holly Hunter.
We're not carrying anybody out on a log.
I thought it was so funny. All the kids were holding a ribbon, and they're like getting cute. Anyway, but yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put some questions in. We have some time for that. And James, so do we want to do that competition thing?
I think we need to. We're getting over toward the part of definitely audience Q&A for a little while because we're about over time, which is where we get past, up to or past 11 o'clock. But Svea and I came up with some ideas that one of the ways you can help conserve water. What is that?
My battery. For some reason, this is not.
Oh, no.
Are you trying to heat up your water with a battery?
Yeah, right.
We were kidding about what we said before we brought you to the interview.
Hold on a second. I know.
You need to wait a second, Svea?
Yeah, I may have to run and get another battery.
Okay, while she's doing that. So Svea and I were talking. One of the ways we mentioned a little bit ago is one of the things you can really do is cut down on long shower, cut down your showers. Some people just stand there going, I want this long shower. Okay, that's fine. Once in a while, give yourself a perk. But by and large, that is a direct way and one of the most controllable ways to conserve water. And so I tend to take quick, short showers. Get clean, just get in there, scrub up, get it done. Don't stand there going, though sometimes. But Savannah and I are thinking ultra short showers to get clean. And we want to do a contest to see who uses the least amount of water as we shower right here on the show. With our clothes on, I got to say that. Okay. So while we're waiting for Svea, if there's any audience questions we can relay right quick, I'll go and relay it. We have Caroline Blackwood that says, I didn't know that the California live oak is fire resistant. I'm killing time until Svea comes back. Wendy Hodge says, well, fish pee in the water. I've heard that actually brought up as I know she's kidding right there, but I've heard that mentioned by those of less belief in modern science, I'll put it that way, as an argument against warming and pollution.
Well, there's plenty of discharge of sewage into the Colorado River too, by Las Vegas. And then there's perchlorate pollution and also mine tailings from uranium. So it's not as clean either. Although we
start on the
clean
Animas
it.
River.
We do clean it.
Yeah.
Okay, battery is saved. Crisis
Yay.
alert. I just yanked another cord out of the bill. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to have a quick contest. Who takes the quickest, most efficient shower conserving water?
Yes.
We have our alternate methods.
Everybody's stripping. What's
Dripping.
Yes, you're stripping.
I'm not going to get this nice shirt wet.
Yeah.
This is the Green Garth Brooks shirt I was wearing during our meeting earlier today.
Yeah. Okay. So he's not really stripping.
There's no music playing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, James, you ready? You have
your
camera set
I'm going
up?
to I'm going to sign on with an extra camera, and it's going to follow, and I'm going to set it up
Okay,
so
Suzanne.
people can see the quick shower.
So when James is ready, Suzanne, do you want to be the one that says ready, set, go?
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, let me know, James. Are you ready?
I'm getting there real fast because I got to take the camera with me.
Oh.
So I'm going to let myself in right quick.
Emitting.
And let me mute over here.
Okay, this is gonna be fun, you guys. This is gonna be fun.
Here I am. I'm going to walk over, and somebody just texted me. Why they're texting me at 11 o'clock at night, I don't know. All right, I'm walking over and I'm putting this on a tripod.
Okay.
And we're going to be ready for this.
Okay, James, you ready?
I don't know where you're at because you got that purple haze there, Savannah.
Okay, so Suzanne, you want to say when we're ready? Set, go.
Ready?
One sec.
Oh my God.
I know, right? I mean, I it's not going to take me very long.
Okay, I'm paying attention, but my kitty outside is like losing it. I gotta go let my kitty in.
Oh, just tripped over a 22
Oh my gosh,
pound,
just like
22
James's
pound
cat. James's cat all the time.
James's cat.
Yeah.
This is Prince Charles coming in. He always has to announce. Oh, I love Maine Coons. They're awesome cats.
Kitty, and he likes to lie down, and when you walk by, all of a sudden you'll bolt and try to see if he can break your leg. Okay, I'm ready when you're ready.
Okay. All right, you ready? James?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Suzanne, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Okay. Something out here because I like the outdoors is going to be there, and incidentally, the sprinklers just started. Okay, here we go. Quick shower. All clean.
Okay, I'm good.
I'm all clean.
I'm very
Look how
Are
wonderful.
You wearing a towel over your head?
Yeah.
No, I washed my hair. I washed my
I just did
hair.
a shower and laundry. Now I'm drying it.
I did my hair. That's how quick it was. Washed all my hair.
You're hiding your hair. You're hiding the evidence you cheated.
This is my turban. My
Your
hair
turban. What are you, Eastern tribe?
No, when my hair is wet, I put it in my turban because it helps dry.
I just stand outside where it's a desert and there's heat air. And we have a strong wind going right now. And instantly the sprinklers in my backyard just came on. Talk about water conservation.
Well, okay, that was like the best shower ever. Go run outside when your sprinklers come on.
Okay, phone's waterproof. I am standing in the
Or go
sprinklers.
outside when it's raining.
Well, I live in a desert. We get less than 3 inches of rain a year. Right now I'm standing out in the sprinklers.
This
There's a
year
bit
we're
of a
down to
draft right
4
now.
inches for San Diego. I don't know what you guys had.
I don't know, but I'm getting my phone wet right now. Thank God it's waterproof.
So we have some questions for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Question.
So Suzanne, Dave, he asks,
Yo, Dave.
dishwasher or hand wash dishes, which one is more water efficient?
Well, okay. So 2 ways of thinking about it. If you really fill up your dishwasher and you run it not on the big high power super clean cycle, and if you do a little bit of pre-washing and save that water, it doesn't use as much. However, what's nice about the hand washing, and I've done this, is I just wash it, in a container, and then I take that water and I water my plants with it.
Oh, okay.
You can retrofit your house to have that dishwater water go out into the area. So that's another thing you can do too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do people with avocado groves for watering? What do people with avocado groves use for watering if the Colorado water is not good for the trees?
So they want water from Northern California, the state water product, because it doesn't have that TDS level, but they're not getting it. So I don't know. I truly, I hope we can keep having avocados here. I love avocados, and by the way, for if you compare, I don't know if you guys ever heard of virtual water? You guys in your water footprint? You know what that is?
Virtual water?
Yeah, so one is water footprint, and the other one it's in virtual water. They're about the same. So that's hidden water. So for you to eat a hamburger, quarter-pound hamburger, just for that hamburger, it takes 660 gallons to create that hamburger.
Is that between watering the cattle and
everything? Everything. Okay. So avocados are really a wonderful deal. They're very nutritious, and it's only 70 gallons. Of water for, I believe, a pound. I think it's really a deal. So that's another thing that people are now figuring, how much water you use for certain foods. And so whenever I go and I lecture on this with my students, they're like, "Oh, are you a vegetarian?" But meat uses a lot more water than plants, and avocados is one of them. So that's a really good question. I'd have to call up a farmer and find out what they're doing, but I know the trees don't do as well.
I think it's just a good analogy right here. Just imagining is that if somebody look at an avocado, imagine 71 gallon milk jugs.
Yeah.
Fill them full of water. That's one avocado. Yeah. I think that's a really good perspective, even just something, and that's considered low use, correct? For ag?
For what?
For agriculture, that the avocado is considered a low water use.
It's low. Yeah, it has a low water footprint. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, but still, that's 71 gallon milk jugs. I think that's an accurate way to lay it out as a visualization for a lot of our viewers.
Yeah.
Just imagine all those cartons of milk at the supermarket for one avocado.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it says here, it's, and this is 320 liters of water. So for one avocado, I'm looking it up now.
That's a lot. And there's some of the water intensive crops like alfalfa.
Yeah. Alfalfa, almonds.
Almonds
are very, so that almond milk you drink is very water intensive.
And that's more of like a Central Valley thing. San Joaquin Valley is.
Yeah, that is a Central Valley thing. Go ahead.
Sorry, that's just a whole other can of worms right there with water use.
Yeah, which we can, but I don't know if there's any other questions.
So right now I don't see any others. One of the things that Caroline pointed out, she said, I didn't know that live oak trees were fire resistant, so they thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's other trees out there too. Like I have a desert willow in my front yard,
Mhm.
and willows are pretty fire resistant. And this one has beautiful pink flowers all summer
Mhm.
and attracts hummingbirds, birds, butterflies. So they're fabulous. The California sycamores are also water resistant. I mean, fire resistant. Sorry, fire resistant. So
I knew what you were totally going down that whole path, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And it's late, huh?
it's
It is.
getting
We didn't even cover rebate programs offered by other districts. We didn't cover
There's a
what
lot.
other water districts are doing to conserve water. We haven't even touched on that.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to
to
send, if you could send a chat out to them for the rebate program that I gave you guys, SoCal Water Smart.
So I put that information into the link for the show. So it's
Right.
in the description for the show. So we did put links into the description of Suzanne's website, of other California and different water websites for more information.
Some water districts also offer reclaimed water for free. So you have to bring in your tanks, but you can just drive up and some people do that. You can do that. Right now, everything is kind of shut down with COVID, and I'm hoping that'll, come back again. So that's another thing you can, if you need more water.
My undershirt's so wet from dunking the bucket that this shirt looks like I'm sweating a bunch.
Oh my
I just
God, it
noticing that on the
does.
camera.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
That's so
Hello,
funny. I know this was my shower.
I don't know. I was too busy taking a shower.
I feel very refreshed. Actually.
Very
You
refreshed.
have the three drop shower plan, huh?
So the only other thing too to watch out this summer, do you guys remember the one summer when they shut down all the showers at the beaches?
That was just a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that may happen again this summer.
That was 2018, 2017?
I don't remember. 2017 was a heavy, I think it was 2018. I can't remember.
Yeah, 2018. That's where that was where, what was the term here? It was just a few years ago. If it something with a toilet, but basically if it's yellow,
Mellow. Let it mellow.
Yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
Yeah.
That didn't go over well a lot of people.
No.
There's some things I like. I mean, I would love to touch on the subject of golf courses. People say, well, look at these golf courses going over and, they're just keeping their lawns. They're the course is green, though there's actually a science to that to conserve and recycle that water.
Yeah, they do.
Not understood. We haven't even touched on that.
Right. There's many cities like Santee and Padre Dam. We have purple pipe programs, and like our golf courses with reclaimed water. And grass loves that stuff.
It's implemented a lot more than the general public would realize on that.
Yeah, I mean, the golf. It's funny. Some of my most avid followers in my classes is our golf team, and we have great golfers at my Catholic high school where I teach modern day Catholic, and they did presentations on golf courses and sustainability, and especially that particular age group, they want to do it right, and I'm just so impressed with that. And that's the other thing, that the kids right now are very aware of what's going on, and they're scared with climate change.
I gotta admit, I work with a lot of kids, and as you do, and you work with more, obviously being a teacher, but
yeah,
that there is a general awareness. The kids are more aware of the world and what's going on, just because they're the easy access to information, and the fact is they're young, and so they're still processing stuff.
Right.
And more socially aware, more environmentally aware than 2 generations ago, 20, 30 years ago even. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, they like I said, they were the ones that were pestering me, and they're upset, they're not happy, and they would like somebody to care about their future, and they feel like right now that's not happening now. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
What I'm telling them is, if you really, really care, get involved with a local political campaign or run yourself. Maybe we need some 18-year-olds on water boards and city councils.
Sometimes it just shakes up the system enough.
Yeah.
For the dishwater, the dish soap, is there like a specific degradable dish soap that you can use so when you water your plants, it's not like you're soaping your whole?
Yeah, you want to make sure there's low phosphates in it.
Low phosphates. Okay.
Yeah, for your dish soap. And that's, I will say dishwater soap is not the best. You kind of really have to look around for it. That's why hand washing is probably, because you can control it and easier on it if you really are, careful about it. I will say for indoor plants, though, for those of you who live in condos, I think it's best to either start harvesting some rainwater or use the tap, but don't use reclaimed water, because it all just accumulates. And what happens is the soil evaporates, the roots pull it up, and you'll get all the salts and the soap and everything, and it's just not the best for container plants.
Wouldn't soap make it cleaner plants? That's the okie me talking. And for any of the young people watching tonight, God help me if you say okay boomer.
They don't say that.
Good.
They don't. So yeah.
I had a young man a few weeks ago. I was on a Colorado River trip up in Black Canyon. I'm talking about the river, one of my favorite subjects, talk about the river, and just started talking about the drought and whatnot. And he goes, okay, boomer. I went, do you know what the hell that means? Do you know when the baby boomers were born? And and the definition there, because you're just showing you need to be kicked in the head. Not
anybody over 30, right?
So
apparently.
So now what they're saying, all the kids are saying that everyone over 30 is a baby boomer? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying my kids do it, but sometimes, yeah, that's kind of the response,
Well, the kids used to saying anybody over, I guess, 25, never mind with it. He thinks we're living in a world of carousel where we all die at 25 from that weird movie. What was that movie?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Logan's Run?
Logan's Run.
Yeah.
Apparently they think we live in a world of Logan's Run. And, anybody over 25 is a boomer.
Well, I always joke around with my nieces and nephews, and I say, oh yeah, so when we were kids, it was like when we didn't have TV or anything, we just had a stick and we would go around and hit things. And then not only that, when we walked to school, it was always uphill both ways, and it was always snowing and it was always raining both ways. Uphill.
In 40 or 50 years, the kids at the school now are going to be talking about the pandemic, going, during the pandemic, it was horrible. We stayed home from school, and we had to watch class on a 65-inch flat screen mini plasma LCD TV, and we only had 6,500 channels. And the teleconference, we had to talk to our neighbor.
No, it was pretty much during the pandemic, we had to check in, but we just ignored our teacher and did our thing. Well,
all they had to do is pretend the camera isn't working or something's going to it.
Yeah.
3-day school. Boy, they can't get away with that with in-person learning.
Yeah, right?
No.
There's some teachers who are very, very frustrated with that.
Did you guys watch South Park at all?
I love South Park.
Did you see the episode where Eric just took a picture of himself? He's like,
one of the
put
kids
it in front of the screen. And so then he took off. He's like, okay, they think I'm frozen for 4 hours.
Have you ever seriously done something like that? Seriously, Svea?
No.
There was a kid about a year ago, one of the kids I used to work with, he's in his early 20s now, started selling knives for Cutco, first job, whatever. And he's trying to hit people he knows so he can do that, easy sales, get the people first. And so he said he wants to do a thing on Zoom with me, saying I want to do a presentation for Cutco. And I went, okay. So you know what? I'm going to teach this kid a lesson. I'm going to have a little fun with him. So I took OBS and I pre-recorded myself going in 2-minute clips, 2 to 3 minute clips. I actually spent the time to make it. And I dressed the same clothes when we were sitting down for the presentation, same background. And so I started cutting it, and I'd go over, get a drink, was on the phone for a few minutes, come back, and I know the script, and he keeps on talking, and I'm just going, and the video's just looping. And then finally I sit down and went, he's still talking. So I sit in this one position, cut the screen, cut the video. So look, there's almost, you don't hear the, the quick shake. And I'm sitting there, and he's going, and about after a couple of minutes, he finally finishes and asks some questions. I went, good timing on my part. And I went, hey, I want to teach a little lesson. He goes, yeah. I went, I wasn't sitting for most of that presentation. He goes, yeah, I saw you. Went, no, you actually didn't. He goes, what? And I went, split screen. And he goes, how'd you do that? And I went, when you give these presentations, if there's a free prize at the end, people will, like me, will pull this to fool you to get the free prize. And it was just, he really appreciated me just screwing with him, because he learned a lot in that. And that's the main reason I did it, but damn, it was funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. So, okay.
I wonder how many kids are that tech smart when they do that for school. Probably millions.
Yeah, right.
They record themselves going. Yeah. So we should try that on each other next show. Who could do a fake out?
Interesting idea.
Seriously, we're gonna do that in the next few weeks. That's gonna be cool.
Shh, don't tell our secrets. Shh.
Well, who's watching?
I don't know.
It's late on a Friday.
I know our show's gone. It's a
actually, fair amount of people.
We always try to do our show in about an hour and 15, but it always ends up going an hour and a half, like always.
For good reasons.
Always so much stuff we're talking about. It's always leading. We don't want to cut off the conversation,
There is so much more we could go over. There's just so much here.
I know. It's like already 11:30 practically. So.
I know. I need to get up and leave my house at 6. I gotta teach. I'm teaching a bunch of teenage girls, high school girls, how to kayak tomorrow.
Oh.
To refresh myself.
Yes, refresh yourself.
Look, Sylvia's taking a shower with the 3-drop plan.
It's the cucumber and green tea with aloe spray.
So what kind of pharmaceutical chemicals you put in the water you're going to do there? Are you reclaiming the water?
No, this is... Ew! I'm not going to reclaim water and put it in my face.
Well, how dedicated to conservation are you?
You're crazy sometimes.
I got
in some places you can. Hey, that's an idea. In some places of the world, they do fog harvesting. And they
harvesting?
Yeah. They put up nets, and and the water just drips down.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
West coast of Africa, I believe.
Yeah.
I think they were doing that in the Andes too, or something like that, where they were bringing the water down to the village.
Yeah. And then a lot of our native plants do that too. Actually, there's a laurel sumac, we call it a taco, and when you get the fog, it's like a taco leaf and the water drips down. What?
I understand tacos.
James is all about tacos. I can't believe this never came up before. James is like, taco?
I try to be humble, but I am actually a world leader. I am the El Presidente Admiral General of Make Benefit Great Nation of Taco Stand. Okay. It is a Latin American country located in Central Egypt or Central Asia. Latin American country in Central Asia that is very easy to visit from the United States because it is located right between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Taco Stand. And it's not with a D at the end. It's with just an N. Taco Stand. Nah. Not
Taco
Dan.
Cat.
Huh?
Taco Cat. Cat taco.
That is our one of our national animals. It's a real animal. It's a cat that wears a tortilla. They're short-haired, and it has little legs cut out. It's a special breed of cat called Taco Cat, and they walk backwards. It's a dyslexic cat, very clever, and hence Taco Cat, because they walk backwards.
Okay.
They're dyslexic. Daco cat. If they were atheists, they'd say there is no dog.
Okay, James. So would you say we're done for the day?
I think we're good. Folks, we're going to talk Elizabeth. What the hell did I say about Elizabeth?
It's late. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
Elizabeth's already signed off, so we're going to talk Suzanne. Red face.
I know.
Sorry. So we're going to talk to Suzanne and see if we can do a round 2 in the future with this. This is great, and there's so much more we could cover on this when it's so encompassing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a 3-hour show. So, yeah, let me get queued up. And do we want to do a fuzzy moments?
Sure. Why don't we throw a fuzzy moment in?
Let me throw a fuzzy moment. Couple old school pictures of the Colorado we talked about. Look, it's a good time just to briefly show what the Colorado River used to look like, right?
Sure.
In a section. We'll just make her quick.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the end. That, and I've already got the cue slide, the slide queued. So, fuzzy moment. This is what the Colorado River, this is a section of the Colorado River that approximates what the Delta used to look like. And pretty birds in the area.
Nice. That's a lot
Can
of
you
water.
can you tell me what kind of bird they are, Svea? Cormorants?
I don't know. They look like they're sitting on some rocks, though.
They almost look like prehistoric looking. They're cormorants.
Oh, cool.
Cormorants. I always mispronounce it. What is it, Suzanne?
Yeah, cormorant.
Cormorants. But I like to just screw with people and say cormorants.
Hmm.
Then the 10 cormorants.
Okay.
And that's our
fuzzy moment.
That's our fuzzy moments.
Aww.
Bring it a little natural. Bring it back to where we start with the river.
Yay.
And with that, let me skip ahead. All right.
Okay, Suzanne.
So we'll do a quick announcement, and then we'll cut to closing.
Yes.
Okay.
Quick announcement.
Quick announcement. So everybody, we have on next week's show is Cheyenne Faulkner,
She's an artist extraordinaire.
artist extraordinaire, and we got some other fun shows coming up over the next few weeks. And with that, I believe that's the end of the show.
Yeah, so Suzanne, our tradition at the end of the show, we all dance.
Oh, totally love that.
Yes.
Do we have our music?
It's going to be coming up here in a second. Quick reminder for anybody that wants to look up information we talked about tonight in more detail. This is probably one of those shows, if not the show, that we put out that much public information that has that much of an impact that everybody could do, that collectively is going to make the world a little bit better place.
Yay.
Cool stuff. So with that, this has been another episode of Late Night Craft Talk.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, ain't he cute? Good night, folks.